So there's not one U.S. state where working 40 hours a week is enough to afford a 2-bedroom apartment. That is sad. That is so ridiculously sad. And the other day I heard an elderly woman talking about these younger folks don't know what working hard is. As someone who had 3 jobs in college while being a full-time college student, y'all are really checked out with reality right now. Like, everything is too expensive. I went to the store the other day. 1 bottle of Sprite and a bag of Doritos. Guess how much? $5.50 for 1 bag of chips. The bag wasn't even huge. It was around like one of those dollar-sized bags. If you knew back in like 2010, those dollar-sized bags. It was one of those and a regular 16-ounce Sprite. Imagine the prices of a 2-bedroom apartment. I think the lowest you can get is probably like $1,200. The lowest you can get.
I am seriously starting to feel like it's just about impossible to live in the United States. And, I don't want to seem like a lazy bum when I seen this, but I truly feel like it's just about impossible. If you weren't raised and given a good first hand in life, or a support team who will make sure no matter what that you don't fail, or having people that you're able to fall back on, you're blessed. And if you are one of those people, I highly suggest you thank those people near you, because a lot of us aren't blessed like that. I'm a 23-year-old dad. I've got 2 kids. I've got about to be a 5-year-old in May, and I've got a newborn too. She's just a few weeks old, like 3 weeks. So my wife gets to stay at home and take care of the babies, and I'm out here trying to get it. I'm on my 3rd shift job now. I'm a security officer. And I work here from 12 a.m. to 8 a.m. every single day, 8-hour shift. I get off of this 3rd shift job and I go directly into another job, which I just go around my city finding side jobs. It might be a clean out one day and I go out there for another 5, 6, 7 hours. It might be landscaping another day. It might be painting one day. It could be, it varies. I do what I can where I can. But therein, I go home and I have to stay up even longer to make sure that my lady is able to get her rest too, because, being a mom's a hard job. Yes, I'm working hard, but being a mom is a hard mental job as well in its own. So I have to stay up for a little bit in order to give her time to actually rest and get her sleep too, because she needs it. I had a loan, having to pay them back $4,300, but I have to pay $700 a month just to drive. That doesn't go toward my principal, on top of having to pay my rent and all the other bills just to survive. It's impossible. I would never hurt or harm myself in any way, but sometimes I just wonder why. Why am I here? There's got to be a reason why, life is so hard for me. What if it's not meant for me? This shit drives a lot of people to anger, man, and I understand. I truly do. People say maybe these next 4 years. No, this is literally impossible. There is nothing no president is able to do to save people from what we are having to go through. Housing at an all-time high. You could go to another country and you can have the same homes here for a tenth of the price that we're paying per month. Food the same exact way. And I just feel like it's impossible. If I was a drug addict, if I was a piece of shit dad, I could have so much more help. But with me out here trying to do everything the right way, and nothing's working, nothing's helping. Life absolutely sucks right now. It truly, truly sucks. And
tell me why the fuck I went to Walmart. This is all I purchased. That's it. In a nutshell, cat litter, home fragrance, deodorant, dry shampoo, 2 candles off-brand, a sleep t-shirt, a sleep pant, mouthwash, toothpaste, and that's it. Y'all want to know what this totaled? $198.72. Get the fuck out of here. Oh, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 protein drinks, almost $5 a fucking piece.
It's a shame that I have to consider getting a second job just to make ends meet, and that's not how it's supposed to be. Your main job is supposed to suffice for taking care of yourself. And even in my main job, I'm making over 20 an hour, but I'm still barely making ends meet. So I had to consider getting a second job just to make ends meet, and that's not how life is supposed to be. I really despise people that voted for Trump. And really, prices were still expensive under Biden, but they had a plan. But Trump, I didn't vote for him, but he's doing everything but lower prices, right? Like, he's not doing anything to really help the economy in a way for us that are suffering to make ends meet. He's not helping in that way. Only thing he's doing is making things worse. And life is not supposed to be like that. You're supposed to be able to make ends meet, but in this economy, it's almost impossible without a second job or a second income, and that sucks.
So let me chime in on how people are making it right now in America with inflation at an all-time high. People that are making $35 an hour, $40 an hour are still broke. So you wonder, am I the only one feeling this? I know you guys are driving around in your city, seeing people still at the grocery stores, still in the fast food lines, still acting as everything is normal. But there's one thing that, if you haven't noticed, people are not using their money to survive right now. They're using credit cards. And if you look at America's credit card usage right now, it is at an all-time high. Most families are already maxed out. And I'm going to tell you one thing that's going to send everything into let's say a bad spot. They're not going to pay these credit cards back. They're spending knowing that they're not going to pay these credit cards back. And so now that these people's credit cards are maxed out and credit companies are no longer giving them money to survive and buy their food, because we don't have any help in our food. If you make money like I make money, you go to that grocery store, or your wife goes, because I haven't been in that grocery store in I don't know how long, but my wife goes to the grocery store. And if we don't spend $600 or $700 on a grocery trip, I'm surprised. But my situation is different. I have a lot of kids, but you wonder how people are making it out here, and they are not making it off their own money. Plus, let's put the other thing in perspective. You have the government saying that job numbers are through the roof. They have created so many jobs and people are taking these jobs. And that's not true. The fact of the matter is, people are taking on second jobs and third jobs just to put food on the table for their family. Mind you, in the richest country in the world, something's not right. If you are somebody out there surviving right now, taking care of your kids, and your money's going up, I salute you. But 99% of people right now, their pockets are suffering badly, to the point where the government even said that by the end of this month, most likely 99% of Americans will have run out of any savings. Wow. This is crazy.
Hello and welcome to another video. In this video we're just gonna be exploring the cost of living. Yes, I'm in my bedroom. I just don't have the space to do it in my living room. So yes, we're gonna exploring the cost of living in this video. And please don't forget giving a like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps my channel to grow, and it helps other people to find my content and my video. And stay towards the end, because I'm just gonna give you a real story that was happening to me with the cost of living here in the United States. In June 2023, I was paying $1,790 in rent. I just got notified that March 1st, my rent will be increasing to $2,023. And before everyone gets in the comments and says, you're doing this, you're making your choices. Okay, first of all, fuck you. I have a 2-bedroom apartment because I have a 1.5-year-old son, and I got this apartment because I researched every apartment within a 30-mile radius of where my dad lives, because my dad lives with my nephew. I'm the legal guardian of my nephew, and I need to be able to have quick, close access to my nephew. I take him to appointments, I pick him up from school, etc. What's shitty is that this is the market rate. So this is pretty standard if you want a 2-bedroom apartment. And mine's nice because it's new, but it's not fancy. It was made really, like everything's plastic and falling apart. And it, for all intents and purposes, it's not a quality apartment. It's safe. I love living here, and that's why I'm living here. But I was talking to my landlord, and I was like, listen, I know this isn't your fault. I know you're not setting the prices of these, but what the fuck? This is not like a sustainable, like, how the fuck is anyone supposed to, like, maintain their tenancy? I said, should I expect another huge rent increase? And he's like, yeah, in September, there's going to be another like $80 to $120 rent increase. And I'm like, so let me get this fucking straight. I had to pay $5,500 to just get into this fucking apartment. I could live in a 1-bedroom. I don't want to because I just figured out crib training with my son. I pay electric and I pay fucking gas, which is another, you know, 100 to 120 a month, like on top of that. I hate that the issue is that I'm at a point in my life where paying another $120 a month in rent is like pissing me off. I know that the solution is to just make more money so that this is going to happen and I'm going to have more wiggle room in my budget and blah, blah, blah. But what pisses me off is if you're not making $6,000 or $8,000 as a single mom a month, you're just like, how are you gonna make it? Who wants to be roommates with people that they don't know? And how many people do you know that you could trust to live with and that it wouldn't ruin your friendship if you lived with them? And what if I just want to live in my own fucking spot? What if I really like the peace of mind that I have in my own goddamn apartment? Why isn't there some sort of fucking clause that says, oh, you're a single mom with narcolepsy and you have a fucking disability and you're making X amount of money and we're gonna give you like a little bit of a break. And I understand like life is a jungle and no one's trying to give out handouts. You know, you're hearing about how Elon Musk just uncovered all the government fucking all the money that's going everywhere. Like the government isn't, in general, they're not looking to help people. We know that. We just keep coming back to like, okay, the solution is just to make more money, but there's only so many fucking hours in the day. I spent 45 minutes today researching other apartments in the area. I maybe have a tour scheduled next week, but here's the thing, it's like, yeah, if I get into this other apartment, like, what is that gonna look like and how much do I have to put down? It's usually first and last month's rent, and then there's a damage deposit, and then there's usually a refundable pet deposit on top of that of a couple $100 or and then, you know, like at least, and then a monthly pet deposit. And I have 2 cats and I don't want to get rid of my cat. I'm not making this video to be like, oh, poor me, like blah blah, but where my brain goes is I zoom out and I think about the bigger picture, and I think about like the regular people who are just trying to fucking survive, and like the average income and like what it cost to just literally survive. That's not like getting ahead, that's not saving money, that's not potentially owning a piece of property, that's literally just like, I'm making it until the next month. What is there, like 800,000 homeless people in the US? And when you think about like a homeless person, your mind might go to like all these extremes, but it's like, no, people become homeless because there's factors that are outside of their control, and they're doing their fucking best, and they get up every day and they have good intentions and they work, and they're not like selling themselves on OnlyFans, and they're trying to like do good in the world. But fucking bills are massive, man. It's expensive as fuck to just live and eat.
How are we expecting people to rent when they have to pay first and last month's rent plus a security deposit? I have a family member, he's not on this app, and he is trying to get into an apartment complex, big corporate-owned apartment complex here in Tampa. 2-bedroom, 1 bath, 800 square feet, $1,600 a month. They have horrible reviews on Google. Not a great part of town, but it's what he can afford right now, and you know, it's going to be, he knows it's a temporary thing. So he asked me if I'd be willing to co-sign on this apartment because this apartment complex is asking for first and last month's rent plus a large security deposit. And I said, no problem. I'd rather you take that money that you would normally have to apply towards the application process to get moved in, and instead focus on like buying yourself groceries when you get moved in and having the funds to set up your utilities and all the things. And I went ahead and submitted all the documents that they asked of me, which was 3 months worth of bank statements, our 2023 tax return, as well as copies of contracts and payments made from my clients because I'm a 1099 employee, to show them that basically if for some reason he weren't able to pay his rent, it would default to me, and including my social security number, so they'd come after me. No problem. I trust this family member wholeheartedly and have no issue doing that. So I submitted all those documents and they called him today. And yes, they are still asking for first and last month's rent and they are still requesting a security deposit. They lowered it. But let me just set the stage here. $1,600 a month is the rent. I provided them documentation to show that one of my clients, just one client that pays me in a month, would cover over 12 months of his rent. And I'm not saying that to brag. I'm saying this because this is the level of absurdity we have reached. You have someone that's co-signing to ensure that that apartment is paid for, that has proof, documentation, proof of funds to show that just one of my payments from one of my clients in a month that I provided a contract to show would cover his rent for the entire year. And yet that's not good enough to waive a security deposit or still make him pay first and last month's rent. What are we doing? Like, why are we making Gen Z like not be able to have a place to live? This is absurd. Like, I don't understand why somebody needs to be making over $1 million to show that you could waive the security deposit and not make them pay last month's rent. Like, I essentially showed them collectively that my husband and I make, I'm not going to say how much it is, but it's absurd. Because if he doesn't have a co-signer, like, how do people move into those places then? I don't get it. I don't understand what we're doing to this generation. Then I see a news report that mortgage rates are climbing back up again, 5-month high, 6.85%. I ain't buying in that market unless I can pay cash. So we rent. And I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that for us. But I'm also 20 years older. Like, and I've already lived, I don't, like, this is stupid at this point. I guess, what is that generation supposed to do if you don't have somebody co-signing for you? How do you expect them to come up with that type of cash for $1,600 a month rent? I don't understand what we're doing here. I don't understand it.
They just passed a bill where they can increase your rent, and we just got back from vacation, and that shit is already affecting us. They're already trying to raise our rent, and because of that, we had a whole like dispute thing with our landlord this morning, and because of that, I'm already on plan B, C, D, all the way up to Z in my head, and I'm trying to find already another place as a backup in case we do have to move. Why is it that no place near us that can accommodate me and my child and my man is affordable? Nothing is affordable in this city at all. 2-3 bedroom apartments and the prices are $3,000-$4,000, even $5,000. That's fucking ridiculous. And I'm crying because I know everybody's gonna come at me talking about, oh, so just move, I can use that money to rent a house somewhere else. I understand that. My family's here, my friends are here, my community. I don't want to leave home, you know? And it's so frustrating because like so many of us go through this that we have to eventually leave our homes because we can't afford to be here anymore. And I'm fucking frustrated. My family is here, my best friends are here, and that's all I have. And the fact that we might have to leave and relocate another state hurts. Because we can't even afford to live home anymore. I'm just upset, and I just needed to vent because I know this is something so many other people go through, and I know I don't really talk about it on my page, but I relate to all of you, and it fucking sucks. And I know that my city is losing its people because of the rent, because of the price of living. This shit is ridiculous. I hate it.
How are we supposed to buy a house when my rent is going up another $195 a month? It has gone up $720 in 4 years for the same place that I live in. $8,640 a year more for the same place I lived in 4 years ago. I'm sorry, property taxes are not going up that much that landlords are charging that much more. We have to stop blaming the economy, the government, the president. It is greedy people taking more profits in. When people tell you, just move somewhere else, why would I move to another state that's cheaper? Why should I have to uproot my family, lose my career, just to afford to live somewhere? You're implying people who live in where I live now don't deserve a fair shot at cost of living. And places with cheaper rent pay lower salaries. That's how this whole thing works for the most part. And my girlfriend's a teacher. Like, if she moves to a state with a cheaper cost of living, she might not even have a pension or her benefits anymore. Instead of telling the middle class to keep, like, looking somewhere cheaper, why don't you all align together and get people out of control that are doing this to us? You are always closer to being homeless than you are to being rich. Like, everyone just assumes one day they're going to get rich. And that's why they don't stand up for people just like them in the struggle right now. If not for the raise I got 4 years ago, I would be totally screwed. I don't even want to hand out or help. I just want things to not be so crazy expensive every year. Like, go buy pizza from where I work. Go buy my merchandise. I don't know. Not a handout, just have it.
How are you motherfuckers not fucking pissed off at the cost of everything right now? Like, our car insurance went up by an extra $150 for literally no fucking reason. Just because everybody else's deductible, supposedly where we live, has gone up, so they tack on an extra $150 for ours. So our car insurance for 3 cars, full coverage, which we've never had an accident, nothing, was almost $400 when it used to be $250. So, and then rent, oh my fuck. I've been looking around to downsizing because I do not own this house. Okay, I do not own this house. It's a 3-bedroom house out in the middle of nowhere. I love it. I've lived here for years, but it's $2,500 a month. I'm having a 3rd child, and I'm like, you know what? I don't think we want to pay this. There's no fucking way we could buy a house, and everybody knows that. So I've been looking at just downgrading, getting rid of a bunch of shit, just being like, you know what? I wouldn't mind paying less. And then in a couple years when the market gets better, just buy a house, right? Well, I was fucking wrong, because a house, literally with 2 bedrooms, 1 bath, basically shitty as fuck, shitty part of town, $1,500 a month? A month? Or basically the same amount of money that I'm already paying now for something with like less space, or it's in an apartment and you can't have no pets, you gotta have 600 credit score, last month's deposit, $400 administrative fee, non-refundable, and we're a family of 4, so we spend about a little over $1,000 a month on fucking food. And I don't buy bougie food. I make my meals. We don't go out to eat maybe once in a while because I'm pregnant and I'm like, oh my god, I want that so bad. But it's been weeks since we've had fast food. Like, what the fuck? Something has got to give. I know for a fact I'm not the only one. And this is fucking bullshit. Like, something needs to fucking change, dude. We can't keep living like this anymore. Fuck.
If the price of shit don't go down, I'm about to start stealing again. I don't give a fuck. I said I was leaving that shit in 2022. But look, if y'all gonna keep making deodorant $15 fucking for a stick, I'm gonna just have to start sticking shit in my purse again. I don't care, because I can't go without deodorant, and y'all know y'all taxing for that shit. Like, come on now, something gotta give. Everything is just too fucking expensive for me. Every single thing. Like, it's to the point I be rationing out fucking deodorant. I'm only doing 2 swipes a day because I can't afford to do 3 or 4 swipes back and forth, because I'm gonna run out of deodorant too fucking fast. Toothpaste too. And the thing is, you can find cheap shit, but it ain't gonna hold you. I'm not about to buy no cheap ass deodorant and be musty as fuck all day. And I'm about to buy no cheap ass toilet tissue and that shit break while I'm wiping my ass. And I'm not about to buy no cheap ass toothpaste and my fucking breath be stinking after I done brushed my teeth. Like, y'all gonna have to give. Like, and then it's like, if you do buy quality shit, it got poison in it, and the stuff that don't have the poison in it is too damn expensive for anybody to afford. Like, this shit is just beyond me. Like, I'm at the point, I'm either about to start stealing shit again, or I'm gonna have to start making my own shit. Y'all, like, the economy gonna have to decide at this point.
All right, it's time to face a little bit of reality, folks. If we look at the financial news right now, we can see what's going to happen financially over the next few months. Let's take a look. Let's read this headline together. U.S. bond yields surge as Trump win stokes inflation expectations. Why is this coming out? So this is mainstream, this is Bloomberg or something like that, mainstream financial news. This is financial people who are betting their own money, are demanding higher bond yields because there's going to be inflation. That's what happens. That's how we know the people who know what's going on know there's going to be inflation. But how can we also tell there's going to be inflation? Simple. Trump has promised inflation. He's going to do 2 things on day 1, right? He's going to put in the tariffs, and he's going to mass deportations. Well, if you put in tariffs are effectively a sales tax at the wholesale level. That's going to raise prices. That is 101% of economists agree tariffs raise prices. Just going to happen. Now, politically, you may say, well, yeah, that's going to also reshore manufacturing. It's going to create jobs. It's going to do this, going to do that. Okay, great. Those might be good things. But the cost is going to be higher prices. Mass deportations are also going to raise prices because where do a lot of those illegal, undocumented immigrants work? They work on farms, right? They're not sitting there collecting government, I'm sure you've heard of that joke about Schrodinger's immigrant, right? Who's somehow stealing your job but also collecting welfare and not working. These guys are working. They're not collecting government assistance. They can't. They don't have a social security number. They can't be on the government dole. They're working. Where are they working? A lot of it's in agriculture. So you get rid of them, the cost to harvest goes up. They have to either hire local people, or if they can't get them, they just harvest less. That's going to raise the price of food. This means anything that's made in China, refrigerators and dishwashers and all that kind of stuff, that price is going up. And all the stuff that goes in the refrigerator is going up because that comes from farms. So we're going to have inflation, and we know we're going to have inflation because the financial experts know we're going to have inflation. So we know it's going to happen. Why is this important? This is important because a lot of people have bought the political line of Trump's going to lower prices and make the economy better. Now, will the economy be better? That could be a political question. Maybe it will, maybe it will. With the tax policy good? I don't know. I have an opinion, but that's not important here. What's important here is you need to understand prices are going up, interest rates are going up, the stock market's going to go up as well, as is Bitcoin. Why? Because Trump's buddies, the people he likes, this is not cronyism, it's the people in his universe. In other words, all the people he thinks are important because he doesn't understand what it's like to be a worker. This gets into why most politicians aren't corrupt. They're just ignorant, not in the racist ignorant way, just in the they don't know people kind of way. Everyone they know has a lot of money in the stock market, so they think the stock market is the economy, so if the stock market goes up, that's good. So when he says the economy is going to be better, he honestly thinks that's true, because the stock market's going to go up. But prices are going to go up, wages are not. This is going to drive up the stock market. So anyone who has assets in the stock market is going to do great. If you have assets in the sidelines right now, like in a checking account, in a savings account, put them into the stock market. Find a good index fund with no fees, get it in there. You're going to be riding that elevator up for the next few months. Some good things are going to happen for you and that money. But for anyone who doesn't have assets, it's like Ted Kennedy once said, a rising tide lifts all boats, but if you don't have a boat, the tide goes up your nose. And that's what's going to happen to people who don't have assets, which is unfortunately a lot of people who voted for him, because when he said the economy will be better, they assumed he meant it's going to put more money in my pocket, raise my wages, and lower my cost of living. None of that's what's going to happen. None of that's what's going to happen. The economy, as in the stock market's going to go up. Gas prices may go down because the tariffs will inhibit economic activity, and anytime you inhibit economic activity, it reduces demand for oil. So yeah, gas prices might go down, but the price of everything else is going to go up with it. So you can drive to the store, but you can't afford to buy anything when you're there. That's what we're looking at. Again, this is not a political thing. This is simply the analysis that we're seeing from the financial experts. So I'm sharing this, not to say Trump is good or Trump is bad. That's opinions I have in other videos. It is to say, you got to know what's going to happen. You want to know if it's going to rain so you can bring an umbrella. It's not, I like rain, I don't like rain. It's going to rain. You should bring an umbrella. Well, I don't like rain. I don't care. Bring an umbrella. Inflation is going to happen. Be ready for it. If you need to buy appliances, buy them now. If you need a new car, buy it now. That price is going to be higher in 2025 substantially than it is today. So if you need it, now's the time to get it. And what's interesting is this word's going to get around, and it's going to cause an economic bump. We're going to see a bump of activity in Q4. And people are going to say, Trump stimulated the economy. Yeah, that's because everyone pulled forward their spending out of 2025. Q1 is not going to look good because people are going to be pulling forward those durable goods orders into 2024 because the smart money knows what's going to be happening. So I just wanted to share that with you. For anyone who's not following the financial pages, this is what you need to know is going to be happening. So plan your finances accordingly.
Every time I think about or trying to move out my parents' house, the cost of living just get higher and higher.
Between the ages of 22 and 28, I would always have this feeling that people who stayed with their parents for too long, it was kind of like a like a bad look. You see what I'm saying? Like, it was kind of like one of those things was like, you're kind of too old to be doing that. Shouldn't you like venture out on your own and shit like that? Shouldn't you try to like be your own person? I no longer feel like that, because things are incredibly expensive right now to the point to where it's almost laughable. I got my first apartment by myself when I was 23 years old. Rent was $595. A little bit of tax and shit, it went up to a little over $600. I live in Charleston, South Carolina. By the time I moved to Columbia, South Carolina, which was 4 years later, my rent was $700. So I transitioned from $700 in Charleston to $700 in Columbia. Everything was good. Stayed in Columbia for about 2 years and then moved back to Charleston. My rent now is $1,400 for this small ass apartment, right? You can't really see it because I got the lights off, but this small ass apartment, like right there, that little, wait, let me see, that little break right there, there's a bedroom on this side of the wall and there's a bathroom on the other side of the wall. That's it. $1,400. I no longer feel the way I felt about people not wanting to move out of their parents' house. Now, granted, I still would have to figure it out because I like my own independence. I like being able to come and go as I please. I don't like waiting on people. So I would have figured out, a way to do it on my own. However, when I see people who still live with their parents and they're, in their mid 20s, creeping up to the late 20s, I'd just be like, hey, they got a dynamic working out with their peoples. If they like it, I love it. You know what I'm saying? Their people's cool with it. I ain't got nothing to say because shit is hard out here. I'm literally patting myself on the back because I switched car insurance companies and I saved $400 a month. I saved $350 a month by switching to Geico. No, I'm just kidding. Geico sucks ass. And I look at that like, wow, that's a good thing because my rent is always going up. Car insurance always going up. Cost of everything. Like, eventually we're going to have to start riding, right? Eventually we're going to have to start doing something to get the attention that this shit cannot continue to happen. Because it seems like everybody in the world is profiting off the services that the American people offer, except the American people. Huh? You get taxed on the money you get taxed when you buy shit with it, you get taxed when you drive to work, you get taxed when you work, you get taxed when you drive home, you get taxed on the food you eat, you get taxed on thinking about taxes because taxes is something you shouldn't be thinking about because you should just pay your taxes like a fucking law-abiding American and shut the fuck up about taxes. Fuck all that. Eventually, very soon, we're going to have to do something about this shit. I don't know how y'all feel about it, but I'm telling you now, eventually something is going to have to give because there is no way that this can continue to be a thing and people are just going to accept this for what it is. This shit is not going to work very long.
Hi guys, I'm really stressed today. I just went to the grocery store, bought 10 items, and it was $80 freaking already. I literally have $10 left in my account. The fuck? So a little backstory. I got laid off from my job a month ago. And I've been applying for jobs months before I got laid off. Sent out hundreds of resumes already. Applied to hundreds of jobs on the internet, remote and on-site. Tailored my resume to every position that I applied using ChatGPT. Went to only a few interviews and still nothing. Like, what the fuck is going on with America right now? Like, it's so freaking hard to live here. Like, I'm gonna stay positive. I'm gonna keep applying for jobs. I'm gonna keep showing up. But man, my bills are not going to wait.
Who are y'all people that be like, I'm just gonna quit my job, I don't have no money saved up, and I'ma just figure this shit out? How y'all be doing it? Because if I get called into a closed door meeting today, I'ma be in complete shambles. So for real, can y'all put me up on game and let me know, like, what do y'all be doing that y'all be completely worry-free about not having no income at all? Like, what y'all selling? It was a content creator that I follow and I like her a lot. She was talking about taking a sabbatical from work. She saved up some money and had paid her bills up and had low debt and was like, I'm not gonna work for 6 months. The fuck? I guess I'm really concerned because people really be out here, no job, be traveling, no job, be at the restaurants, no job, no plan, no hope for the future, be at the homecomings, at the concerts. Like, I really need y'all to tell me what it is that y'all doing that I have not seemed to master yet. Y'all act like we live in one of them for just $3.66 a day type countries. Because when y'all do be working, y'all don't be having no money to buy nothing. But then when y'all don't be working, it's just a free-for-all. And I do not understand it, but I want to understand. So help me, talk to me, teach me. Let me know.
I feel like life is just depressing for a lot of people because they've been outpriced from life. It's a weird concept that you're not meant to have any fun in life. You're not meant to have any enjoyment in life. Your life is only meant to be working for 16 hours a day so that you can generate wealth, so that you can buy things that will make you comfortable. The things that it takes for a normal person to be comfortable is unaffordable. A normal person can't afford shelter. A normal person can't afford health care. A normal person can't even afford to start a family. They can't afford to settle down. They can't afford to get sick. It's really like some fucked up game of Monopoly where you're just hoping that you don't have to return to the start or you don't have to go to jail. And the banks literally own all of the fucking properties, so you can't even buy a home. Like, it's really fucked up to know that there's enough vacant homes in America to house the entire population 2, 3, maybe even 4 times over. But Larry Fink's got to have the majority of housing in America. And the people that want to talk shit in my comment section with their dummy fucking bullshit probably don't even know who Larry Fink is. I'm just going to assume some of you out there are smart enough to do some digging. No big deal, just the CEO of BlackRock, the company that's been snapping up houses on the market for years and years, artificially driving up the prices of homes. Homes aren't expensive because they're in demand. You know, when banks can easily buy any vacant home, it's not exactly supply and demand. Me personally, I don't have the assets that a bank does to just continue to buy up home after home after home and let it sit vacant. Because there's plenty of fucking idiots that would love to take out a 40-year motherfucking mortgage and pay it back. And those are the foolish fucking assholes that'll sit there on their fucking high horse and say, I'm better than you because I have more debt. Fuck you guys. You're a motherfucking debt slave to the banking industry. You're a motherfucking wage slave to your fucking job. You're basically a cash cow who's proud of how much milk you produce for your masters. Fuck off. We are not the same.
I am moving back into my parents' house at 23 years old, and let's fucking talk about it. I got this apartment about a year ago, and I had just graduated college. I graduated with a Bachelor in Arts of Psychology with a minor in Creative Writing and English. Now, I'm sorry, but a 4-year psychology degree is absolutely useless unless you go forward with it. I didn't have money nor time to go forward with it, so I wanted to get straight into the job field, and I could always go back to school. So I went and I got a sales job, a corporate sales job. And it was obviously a 9-to-5 every single day, Monday through Friday. And if anyone who works in sales knows that your first year absolutely sucks. I could not afford my own rent and my student loan payment just on the salary alone. It was around $47K, just to be fully transparent. It wasn't around, it was $47K, sorry. And before anyone fucking says, oh, dude, you weren't working. I worked 7 days a week. I got a part-time job serving on the weekends. So I would do Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, working in Jamaica, Queens, and going door to door. Not a good area, especially when you don't know how to parallel park, because I'm from Long Island. Anyways, going there Monday through Friday, I would drive back in around 2 hours worth of traffic, and then on Saturday and Sunday, I would go and serve at a restaurant all day a double. And that still was barely getting me by. So I hated the job so much, and I was like, okay, this is like, I could make this somewhere else. I might as well find another job. I've wanted to be a teacher for a while now. I haven't been able to afford to go back to school. So I'm now a preschool teacher, right? Which I work Monday through Friday, actually 8 to like 6 o'clock sometimes. It really depends on the day. Usually it's 5:30, but 6 o'clock is how it goes.
I also keep that serving job on the weekends because I cannot afford to live. I cannot afford to live. I do not hang out with friends. I don't go out very often. I'm also not a drinker, so I don't go out and anything like that, right? I still cannot afford to live. I'm draining my savings, which I don't want to be doing in my 20s. I'm 23 years old. I want to be building my savings at anything. So I decided to move back with my parents for a year. I was very against it because me and my parents, we get along but from a distance. But it was my last option, and the cost of living is absolutely insane despite working 7 days a week. If I even tried to get another job, it would have to be an overnight shift somewhere. That's not manageable when I have to get up as early as I do. It makes me mad when people say, oh, like, Gen Z is so lazy. I promise you I'm the least thing from lazy. I have a crippling fear of not doing enough. I actually hate not having something to do. I can't just relax and watch TV. I don't even watch TV unless my boyfriend's here. I am always cleaning. I am always doing something, or I am working. I never just sit down and relax. I think it's an anxiety thing. But at 23 years old, having a full-time job with benefits and all, I should be able to afford my living situation. Yet I can't, and I'm not the only one who has this shit. Any entry-level job is not enough money to live on. And it sucks. It sucks. I'm going back to school to get my master's, and that is why I'm moving back with my parents, because I will not be able to work 7 days a week while taking a full thing of classes. Yay, so fun.
Yes, I live in Las Vegas, Nevada, and here even when the rent prices are not increasing like other states, because in other states that is even worse, I feel like the cost of food is so increasing, is so expensive, and Nevada have one of the highest costs of insurance, and I just got a ticket a few months ago, so my insurance is extremely expensive, even when I just only have like simple cover. I just don't have full cover. I only have like simple coverage for my car. I still pay $380 for insurance. So car insurance is increasing, housing prices increasing, the gas is increasing, and the current administration, it seems, doesn't want to stop the growing. It's not doing anything about the growing of the cost of living, and they just not even trying. They are not. It's no legislation that they have passed to increase the cost of living. Actually, they are just trying to pass legislation that is going to raise the cost of living. That is going to be completely the opposite with the tariff and the things they're just planning to do. But they are not doing anything for lower the cost of living or anything. So for me, that I had kids and a single mom, it's extremely difficult to keep the roof over my head. I just been having difficulties to pay my rent. So if you just want to send me a super thank you, I will be extremely grateful. I don't even know if I can say super thank yous right, that you can send super thank yous right now, because I think my you have to have like 500 subscribers or something like that, and my account doesn't have that amount of subscribers. Yeah, but yes, please don't forget giving a like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps my channel to grow, and it helps other people to find my content and my video. Thank you.